All right, so up front, this is not a like scripted or big thing. Like whereas my last video was this well thought out thing where I planned ahead and I made a script and I explained everything and tried to make sure that my arguments made, or like my statements made sense and everything else. This is not that. This is just an off the cuff, unscripted, unpointed out thing. I just wanted to, the whole point of this is a final thoughts video. So the reason for the final thoughts video is this. My subscription to WoW Classic finally ended. It is over. The gauntlet of playing WoW Classic is finally over. I can now resume back to doing what I was doing before, which is, playing whatever I feel like playing and also continuing on my series of January through Eorzea. So that's where we're at. So here's the thing. I really tried to get into the Dead Mines. I tried. I tried within reason. We'll say that. Basically, I had planned to play it with my friend who would want to do that, but he had a sudden thing in real life happen, and when that thing happened, he had to leave. And I was like, can we do it? But for the sake of everything, that's Bastion, right? Jiff was underleveled. He was not he was still like 3 or 4 levels shy. And so we spent the last night, and the last night we played, oh man, things did not go well. Largely, even I snapped a little bit eventually. Basically, we're over in the, where is it? I'm trying to think what it's called. It's like in fact, we're in that area, right? Then I'm going to have some background, some like B-roll playing at the behind this footage. So, we're playing in that area and we're doing the whole thing, and I die, and the game spawns me at the graveyard, and the graveyard is a stupid ways away. And then, I'm just, at this moment, I'm just like, I'm annoyed about it already. And then I've had this moment where I finally kind of just snap and I go, this is a walking simulator. It's just a walking simulator. All I'm doing, because it spawned me so far away from like where I died. And I'm like, well, my choices are respawn here, get all my stuff, and still have to walk back to where I was, or walk all the way back to where I was. And I'm like, and he tries to point out, Bastion, bless his heart, tries to explain that it's like a punishment. And I'm like, look, I get that it's a punishment. I understand that it's a punishment, but like, this isn't a good punishment. This is just like wasting my time. Like a punishment to me, right, is you died 20 million miles away, but now all the enemies have respawned and you have to fight them all again. And that's like annoying, but like in a manageable way where you look and you go, okay, so I need to like really get my stuff together if I want to actually get through, and like, let's analyze what I did, right? But it didn't do that. It just goes, oh, well, you spawned 20 miles away, and now you have to walk back 10 miles, 20 miles or whatever. And I'm just like, it's just not engaging. There's nothing about that. And then he goes, are you swimming? And I go, yeah, I'm swimming. He goes, you can walk on water. Here's a fun fact. Because it never came up to that point, and it never explained it, every time I went into the water, even when I'm dead, I just swam. Well, lo and behold, wouldn't you know it, you can walk on water. That's good to know. Would have saved me a little time in the past, but like it didn't really apply because of that. And then like we're fighting these ogres in the area, and we're getting dumpstered, right? Because Jiff is underleveled and we don't really know what to do about it. So we're just trying to do it. And then like this other guy comes in, he's like, I'll join your party. And then I think he was like baiting the enemies in. He went and like aggroed like everything in the area. And then we just all died. And the ogres chased us for like 20 miles and everything else. And the whole time I'm just like, man, this is just not a good time. Like I'm trying really hard to enjoy it, right? And it's just not happening. And so eventually, like I said, I snap and I just go, it's just a walking simulator. And Bastion, again, bless his heart, wonderful man, love him to death. But like, I never shared my video that I made or at least not up to this point. I might show it with him eventually, but at this juncture, I have not shared it with him. The whole like, it didn't grab me video, because I didn't want to be like, hey, we haven't even finished playing the game yet, and I just want to let you know I'm not enjoying it. But it's like, there's just like certain elements. It was just a hard time. We were having a real hard time. And so that said, he has to leave the next day. And so we're like, okay. And he's like, hey, I hope you guys will go get into Dead Mines. And the thing is, at this point in us playing, I have so little interest in playing the game. Like, I cannot think of anything else I'd rather do less. Like, if you were like, hey, want to go shovel a ditch or play World of Warcraft Classic? And I'd be like, that's it's a bit of a challenge for me. I'm not really sure, you know. Maybe I'm being a bit hyperbolic, but you get the idea. I was not really enjoying myself. And so he's like, do that. And I'm sitting there and I have this like this moment where Jiff has already told me at this point, he doesn't have the sunk cost fallacy. He doesn't feel like, you know, what have we done? Like, what was the whole point of this whole thing? He doesn't have that. He's totally fine with being like, okay, this can go die in a fire and I never have to play it again, and that's fine. And that's the way he felt about it. And I'm like, okay, cool. And so I'm like sitting there going, do I make this actually mean something? Like, do I cap off my experience with the Dead Mines? Do I go in and talk to randoms and say, hey, take me through the Dead Mines and everything else? And the thing is, wouldn't you know it, life got a little complicated, and my experience, I thought my subscription ended on the 5th. It turns out, which would be today, as of recording this. Well, it's 1:10 in the morning on, you know, the 5th. Would I want to do that? And then I'm like, I realized that actually the subscription ends on the 4th, and I didn't get a chance to go and do it. So I'm like, you know what? That's fine. Like, you know what though? But let's see. I'm like, you know what? Let's not be unrealistic here. Let's actually go through and let's go look and see what the Dead Mines is all about. Because maybe, like, at this point I'm not thinking about resubscribing, but I'm like, I'm watching this like earlier today when I'm like, I have to make a decision on what I want to do with my day. And I'm like, I don't have a lot of time, but if I really try and push, I could get the Dead Mines in right before, under the wire, right? Like right underneath before my subscription ends. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that. So, but I'm like, okay, we're just gonna figure it out, right? And so I watched this guy, and in this video, he's playing the Dead Mines for the first time. And I'm like, okay, show me what you got, Dead Mines guy. And he's playing it for the first time, and he's having a grand old time. And again, once again, it's like I want to vicariously almost enjoy things through other people, because I'm like, well, it's not doing it for me, but it's obviously doing it for you. So explain it to me. So he plays the Dead Mines, and I'm like, I had this sneaking suspicion that the dungeons were just going to be, again, coming from 14, like, you have trash mobs that are throughout the dungeon, like enemies, like maybe there's like a mini boss or something in there, but generally speaking, and like you might have a dungeon mechanic where you have to do X, Y, and Z, but generally speaking, you go in, you kill a bunch of trash mobs, you get to, like, down a hallway, you kill an enemy, and I'd read all this stuff about the Dead Mines. There's enemies that come up behind you, and there's this that happens, and that happens, and maybe I just saw a bad video on it, but props to that guy for his video. Like, his video was cool, he went through the Dead Mines, but like, the thing is, when he fought the first boss in the dungeon, I didn't even realize they were fighting the boss, because there's no, like, I don't know, it was just like a dude, like an ogre thing, and they just fought him and killed him like it was nothing. And it was this dude's first run, right? And they just keep running and they kill stuff, and then he's spamming so much magic because he's like a mage that, like, it trivialized everything. And if the boss dies, and it's like nothing. It's like a Tuesday, right? It's like it doesn't even matter at all. And they kill him, and I think, okay, well, maybe that was just a fluke. Maybe that first guy just doesn't have a lot of mechanics or anything interesting going on with him. And then I watch him go through, and I'm going to link this video in the description just for this video so that you can get some context of what I'm talking about. It's like a 45-minute video. If you want to watch it, watch it. If you don't, that's totally fine. He goes through, and like, he fights these bosses, but I'm like, these are the most nonchalant bosses. There's like nothing to them. And I'm thinking back, and I'm thinking, am I being unjust? Am I being unfair? Because I'm like, the first couple fights in, say, Sestasha, right, in 14, like, there's not a lot of mechanics. It might have some ads or something, and then you have to deal with them or whatever, but I'm thinking, okay, the last boss, right, what are the mechanics for the last boss? And it's like, you got to go run around, and you got to hit the little grates or whatever, right, and, like, stop the bubbles. And even then, now, 15 years later or whatever, 10 years later, you don't have to do that. You can really just tank and spank. You can rush through and ignore the mechanics and just kill the boss and win. I get that. But the mechanics do exist, and at one time they did matter, right? Like, that's the problem with, like, trivializing old content, right? Like, it stops being as relevant. But I'm like, there are mechanics. I watched these people fight this guy. The only thing I saw them say was, kill the ads first before targeting the boss. And I never saw anyone, they did that, but that's because they were just spamming AoEs over him the whole time. And then it was just over. It was just over. Like, every boss shows up, and they're like, oh, and I just noticed, and the guy kind of notices and mentions that he realizes that it's different, but that, like, nothing changed. They fought every trash mob the same way they fought every boss. So much so that I didn't even notice. And I was like, me not enjoying the combat was just like, why would I put myself through this? And so it was in that moment I was like, no, I'm not gonna. I'm doing the meme, the Ed McMahon or whatever, like Vince McMahon, like the fit hand under the throat, like cut it, thing. I'm like, no, we're not doing that, right? And I just and it felt bad because I was like, I really wanted to do that, but I ran out of time. I had all week to do it, but I was just like doing other stuff and not thinking about it, and I'm like, okay. And then I thought back to it, and I'm like, this game just, in my video that I had where I was talking about the game, about WoW Classic, I realized that I realized that I was thinking back to the gameplay, and I'm like, I understand that I'm playing healer. Again, I know I referenced that in the video, but it's like, I'm playing healer. The healing, during the video I'm watching the healer, and he's just sitting down drinking water all the time, and then just keeping the dude topped off, and that's it. Nothing else ever came into play. There was no oh man, here's an example. I was playing 14 today for Journey Through Eorzea, and I was playing my Red Mage, and Red Mage isn't even a healer, but he has utility, right? And I'm looking, and I realize this is episode 115, I believe. And so we're playing, and the healer dies, and I have tunnel vision real bad. I don't look at the chat and everything, but I go, oh, I have the utility. Now, granted, they've added Phoenix Downs and stuff since then, but in general, I realize I can heal this guy, and now I'm like, okay, I need to keep the tank alive, so I'll heal him first, and then I'm going to go over and I'm going to revive the healer, and then I'm going to do this, and how am I going to do. And there was a lot of crazy things happen in that dungeon, a lot of things in that dungeon that happened. I was playing Michaela's Well or whatever, or Michaela's Well, whatever it is. And I'm playing it, and I'm thinking, see, this is exciting. This is interesting. Right? Things happen, you know what I mean? And also there's mechanics, and I realize that there's a thing that happened, and that's probably how the guy died, and what do I need to do? And then later there's a mechanic that gets me killed, and I'm like, because the same thing happened, the healer died again, and I was like, what's happened? Because the tank decided, the healer said, I'm going to be away for a minute, and then the tank just ignored it and went through. It's just I don't know, it's just watching the gameplay of this guy playing the game, I just realized how uninteresting the gameplay in WoW Classic. I've said this, I realize, all in the video, but just when you pair the having to walk 20 million miles and the combat not being engaging, and then I'm thinking the dungeons. I keep getting told the dungeons are the thing, and maybe later dungeons are better. Maybe the Dead Mines isn't a good thing, but I would think you'd want your first dungeon to both be kind of easy and give you a hook, but also at the same time, be engaging in some capacity, right? I remember doing Sastasha the first time and thinking, that's so cool, right? But I was really nervous because there's performance, right? You don't want to fumble. And I'm playing Archer at the time. And I'm like, oh man, I don't want to fumble this and mess it up and make everyone mad at me. But I'm like, all right. But I don't know. As I watched it, it just wasn't compelling at all. And I thought, it is literally just doing the same thing I did outside the dungeon, inside the dungeon. I didn't see them doing anything differently in any way. And I'm like, I don't know. It's just everyone would gang up on the tank, everyone just started spamming AoE attacks, and then and the healer's just keeping the tank alive so he doesn't die, and that was the dungeon. And I'm like, that's it? There's nothing else here, really. And I thought, I mean, and more power to them, more power to the people that love the game. I'm just saying, more power to them. But again, as I said the other thing, it's just not for me. I made a reference. There was a guy that watches my videos, Crompulus, which, by the way, Crompulus, if you're watching this again, thanks for watching. You're the unopposed PvP MVP of my channel, so that's good. The thing I was gonna say is I'm telling him, and I said that I equated it to, I said, it's like being a carnivore, on a carnivore diet, and someone goes, dude, I've got a ticket here for an all-you-can-eat buffet to a salad bar. And maybe salad bars are great, and having an all-you-can-eat salad bar is great, but it's not great for a carnivore, you know what I mean? And so, I don't know, just the constant running around and just everything, I don't know, I could repeat myself for another 20 minutes, I really could, but it just kills me inside whenever I think about it. So, anyway, it's over. I'm done. I'm not going to play the game again. Like, I'd have to be seriously bribed to play the game again. But you know, like, power to the people. If you love WoW Classic, please love WoW Classic. That's totally fine. But I can't with it. I cannot do it. It is too much for me. I cannot appease this. So with that, thanks for listening to my stupid rant, and you know, till next time.